Today we are performing an Aghor Yagna with Baba Shivnath, who has arrived in the morning from Canada all the way. He is a Dikshit Aghora from Varanasi, Kashi, Baba Nagnath Yogeshwar, and is my god brother. So we have got the opportunity to have him here today and the opportunity to see his prayers and yagna.
Sarvakarayeshu sarvada Om Namaha Parvati Pataya Hara Hara
Hara Mahadev.
Prema Sahita Nitya Karunarati Mahakali Malayaki Hari Lata Dharani Mangalavadayani Yogaharani Sukadalayaki Tumahi Agama Baba Varanawali Tumahi Jagatalaya Karani Wali Tumahi Kashtalaki Nija Bhaktani Para Akara Turata Sahali Yakti Tumhim Pravala Okari Ki Shakti Rudra Baba Sankara Ki Shakti Rudra Baba Sankara Ki Bhakti Tumhin Janani Patavaravani Ika Sevaka Sundara Nalaya Ki.
He just recited Kali mantras, Guru mantra and Ganesha. Starting with the yagna.
Om Krim 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 Lakshmi Galige Om Krim 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 Om Swaha Om Krim 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 Om Lakshmi Galige Om Krim 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 Om Swaha Om Krim 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 Om Krim Krim Dakshini Kalige Om Krim 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 Om Swaha Om Krim 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 Om Dakshini
Now he
Kalige
is reciting Kali mantra. The Bij mantra of Kali is powerful, and which is cream. This is a very secret and a sacred knowledge. The mantras are very powerful. When an Aghori recites all these mantras, it is considered to be very powerful and auspicious. These are called the wish fulfilling moments, wish fulfillment mantras. The Lingashtakam now he is reciting Lord Shiva.
Can I call again? I can't see this.
Yeah, you can. You can see, I just want to ask you one thing.
Oh.
There is a question about Kali mantra you performed.
Oh.
How do you take the Shakti with Shiva and the power of Havan, Yagna, with the mantras of Kali?
Because in our tradition, the Shiv Shakti tradition, we believe that there is no such thing as Shiva without Shakti. The mantra, the energy, comes from Shiva and then is combined with our action. And neither of them has any capacity unless they are conjoined.
All right. So, do you think by performing the yagnas, all the Aghoris or the tantrics or whoever perform these yagnas attain the power?
Essentially, the yagna has been carried out for thousands of years in order that whichever action is carried out as part of it comes to fruition. So in this, we are combining the Shiv and Shakti, bringing energy into Shiva.
Yeah.
And it is that purpose that we do the Havan and the magic.
Okay. So it is a very clear thing that by performing yagnas, anyone can attain anything in the life? You want to say that?
No.
All right. So what is the meaning of yagna? Why it is needed that we should perform yagnas?
It's a process of sacrifice.
All right.
Sacrifice to the deities.
All right. Okay.
And in particular, if we are sacrificing to Kali, it is that we are sacrificing our own egos.
All right. Are you talking about sacrifice means, are you talking about the animal sacrifice or human sacrifice?
Sacrifice of ourselves.
Yeah.
Our egos.
Yeah. Right. All right. So now you are going to perform Lingashtakam. Yeah. We really want to hear that from you.
Murari Surachita Lingam Nirmalabasi Subhitalim Janmajaduka Vinasa Lingam Tapranamami Sada Siva Lingam Devamuna Pravarachita Lingam Kamadahana Karunanakaralingam Ravanadarpa Vinasahalingam Tapranamami Sada Sivalingam Savasugandha Sulepitalingam Pudi Vivardhana Karanalingam Siddhasura Sarasa Panditalingam Pranamami Sada Sivalingam Kanagamamani Dusitalingam Haripakiveshtika Sobitalingam Dakshashuyajna Vinasanalingam Pranamami Sada Sivalingam Kumkuma Chandana Lepitalingam Pankajahara Susobhitalingam Sanchakya Papa Vinasanalingam Tapranamami Sudasivalingam Devaganarchita Sevitalingam Bhava Bhakti Virevachalingam Dinakarkoti Prabhakaralingam Tad Pranamami Sada Sivalingam Ashtadalo Pariveshtitalingam Sava Samudbhavakaranalingam Ashtadaridra Vinasanalingam Tad Pranamami Sada Sivalingam Suragura Suravara Pujita Lingam Suravana Pushpa Sadarkita Lingam Paraparam Paramatmakalingam Tatmanamami Sara Shivalingam Lingashtakamidam Punyam Ya Pate Sivasamido Sivaloka Mahopniti Sivana Sahamodate Bhava Bolina Bhavesh Makhali Hara Hara Mahadev.
Har Har Mahadev. I have few more questions. I want to ask about the Aghora cult. Tantric and Aghoras. People get scared of them. The common man cannot stand this name, even terrify them. So, is it that fearsome? Is it that terrifying?
No, I don't believe so. Like
What is
anything,
then? What is Aghora and Tantrika?
Agar is the acceptance of all things, based in the principle of Advaita Vedanta. Everything comes from God, everything is God, and everything will be God. Nothing is outside of that. Nothing can be cast outside of that framework. I think it's something like so many things that has the potential to be dangerous, entirely depending on the individual wielding it and the desire of that individual. So, like so many things in life, if it's put into the wrong hands, it can be dangerous, or it can be a profoundly useful and healing tool for many different scenarios. And it is just unfortunate, I think, in many occasions that it has fallen into the wrong hands, and those actions have been sensationalized.
So according to you, Aghora or Aghorism, that cult is not the way people think it is?
The practice that I've come to understand through my Guruji, which happens to be very sattvic in its nature, where effectively there is no purpose for any of the darker side of the Tantra that may be used. We're not obliged to learn it, we're not obliged to use it. There is no reason to use it, because one has to remember that anytime one chooses to use those darker sides of Tantra, that karma will come back to the individual that uses it.
So it means we all are Tantric and Aghoris, because if it is about the bad and good, then we all follow that in the day-to-day life.
Yeah.
But people don't accept that.
No.
Yeah, all right. Okay. And according to you, what is the purpose of everyone's life? Is it to take sannyas and live?
No, because that will entirely depend on that life. We can't all be sannyas.
Yeah.
There'll be nothing to eat.
True.
Everyone has to fulfill a position of some sort. And I think whatever that position is, I would like to think that everyone learns to do it better from the beginning of their life to the end of their life.
Yeah.
That it is a constant learning curve for all of us.
Okay, what are your views on Tantra? Because nowadays, every Tom, Dick and Harry is doing Tantra. If you go type Tantra and Google it, you will get so many sites on it. Tantra massage parlor, Tantra sex parlor, Tantra this, Tantra that. Is that Tantra?
It is one very small, lower level component of Tantra that could be used, often described to wake up the spiritually inert. It is not high level Tantra. Again, because Tantra doesn't push anything outside, it is accepting of all. But most of the commonly held views on Tantra
Yeah.
are really in that lower level, inert category. And I would suggest that one of the reasons that they've become popular in this dark age, in this Kali Yuga, is exactly that. Because most people are simply obsessed with the physicality of life, and they're not willing to progress further than that. And they become stuck in that level.
And they're searching for an excuse.
Yeah, very much so. And many of the people that have popularized Tantra, I believe, they've recognized that in people, and that's why they've popularized those particular aspects of it.
Okay.
They know it, they knew in advance. They
All
weren't
right.
stupid people the people who popularized and mythologized Tantra.
Yeah.
They knew exactly what people would find interesting,
Okay.
and they promoted it to them.
Yeah.
And of course, they bought it.
Yeah. So how we can remove these misconceptions and bring light to people's life?
The only thing I
Those
can
who are completely into it, and they are thinking, okay, this is right, because I think that has been fed to them completely.
Well, if you are talking about spiritually inert,
Yeah.
of course it feels exciting. Of course it feels that you've opened yourself up possibly for the first time in life. The only way I can say that people might hope to move beyond that is for us to demonstrate it. We can't sell it, we can't package it, we can't actually we can't create a product from it. The only thing we can do is demonstrate it in
Yeah.
our actions and the way that we live.
Right.
And the way that we lead our lives. And people can observe that and draw their own conclusions. But that will be a very slow process.
Yeah, that's true. Because there are very few people who are doing it in a right way.
I wouldn't even say it is a right way or wrong way. It's just they are moving beyond the popular conceptions of Tantra.
Okay.
As we know, there are 7 chakras,
Yes.
and the most people are stuck in the first or second chakra.
True. Sacral and root.
And that's also because those chakras, the actions of those chakras are highly visible and highly comprehensible.
Yes.
It is very hard to see or comprehend the action of some of the higher chakras when it is occurring in someone.
Right.
So it is not a product that you can sell, unfortunately.
So what message you want to give, as you have come all the way from Canada? So what do you think, how you got into it? What attracted you?
I didn't know I was looking, and I now know I have the incredible grace of finding a guru I didn't know I was looking for. I absolutely cannot promise that anyone setting out on that journey will find that. I don't know how I found that. It was through pure grace that I found that. The only thing I would suggest to anyone is to really look and really ask yourself the question, or the more profound question, of moving past the physicality and the sensual and the visible. And if you are blessed with the fortune of finding yourself in a place where you can do that work, then take every opportunity to do it.
All right. Can a tantric or an aghori, bona fide aghori or a tantric, change people's life, the common man's life, as they are suffering from diseases, financial issues, relationship issues. Do you think a tantric or an aghori can change that?
Certainly questions of health, yes, I have witnessed that, because these are questions of nature. Questions of finance, my personal opinion is I'm not so sure, because I don't typically tend to get people coming to me with that issue. Issues of health, yes. Their health issues have occurred because of a negative aspect of their nature, and we can certainly help them with that. The cost of that, and I do not mean financially, I mean physically, to the person providing that positive aspect of their nature again, can be very demanding, especially in more demanding health issues. Sometimes we've dealt with people with very serious health issues, and the consequences for ourselves as practitioners in helping those people is at times very hard on us physically. We have to pay the price to nature.
Do you think, or it is advisable for people who are practicing or in the cult of Tantra and Aghora, they should charge for their services or teachings? Especially in the name of education, people are charging or minting money these days. Is it advisable to sell the knowledge? And also want to know whether one should charge for the service or not, because it is a matter of balance, creating the balance.
I think in the initial stages, I would honestly say no. In the very initial stages of a relationship between a teacher and student, a guru and chela, you should develop a bond of trust that is not based in finance. Because very unfortunately in this age of ignorance, that leads people, it leads desperate people prone to exploitation. Once that position of trust is developed, then yeah, there should be some exchange. That exchange does not have to be represented by financial bills. It can be an exchange of all manner of things, and that is entirely up to the relationship of those two people, or that group of people and the person.
All right.
I've known very good relationships where the person offering the teachings wanted nothing, but then just put demands on the people receiving the teachings to go and do good work for less fortunate people.
Yeah.
So there's always, there is always a payment of some sort. It just doesn't have to mean that it is the kind you can pay with your credit card.
Okay.
It can be a multitude of ways.
All right. And what about the healing and the work done by a tantric or an aghori or a healer or the spiritual person for the people who are in need, whether for money, the financial growth, or relationship healing, or anything else, for diseases and all, whether the person should charge or it should